I wanted to go back to square one. Therefore, I thought it was only right to interview them where b-boying first took place.
Well, I'm just walking in NYC. What do I see? Much things to inspire me. Retire these old styles, hop a few turnstiles, cop a few smiles. A child in me is going buck wild to see scenes that remind me of B Street and wild style. Sit back, reminisce, close my eyes, smell the piss and garbage mix like CDs, DJ selling the streets. Man, I'm happy as fuck.
My trip to New York City first took me to Brooklyn, where I went backstage for a live performance with local hip-hop artists Live Long, Deep, and Ben Boogs. Then to Times Square, where I witnessed Kid Jungle, b-boy from Chicago, Illinois, doing a street performance.
Project flow, there ain't no contest, no. When you're looking for serenity, your conscience knows. God bless those that's down with the crew of J Rocker, the prophet.
And finally to Greenwich Village, where I met up with Uniq Styles during a b-boy event to have our interview.
It's what I love to do. I love b-boying, I love throwing jams. You get to meet people from all over the world whose real names you don't know. And you still go and house them at your house. You still go and, just feed them and take care of you because they know that they'll do the same for you. It's like a worldwide frat, but it's real. You don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything. It's just a connection that you have, you know what I'm saying, as people, as human beings. I love the foundation of it. I love, like you said, you gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta learn where it comes from. You gotta learn about the dance. You gotta understand the dance. But then you gotta put your own style into it. I personally like, power moves. I like flying. I like to define gravity. That's what I like to do, you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys in the crew like to take it to the floor,
This interview with Uniq Styles brought on a series of events that helped me understand their passion for this dance. They invited me to shows and I got a glimpse of what breakdancing was all about. Soon enough I realized that their art was not only about a dance, but also about the history of that dance. It is about what the dance represented back then and what it represents now. Empowerment. Empowerment because kids from the streets made this dance a worldwide phenomenon. This is a resonating message that says anything is possible, and maybe the reason behind their passion for this art form is that it brings hope, a world full of possibilities.
To be able to communicate beyond the eyes, beyond maybe even the ears, just intuition. A good musician has finesse, they're sensitive, and they're relaxed and poised.
To me, a good artist is someone that portrays light, that their artwork is light. Someone might be a great artist, but their art is not representing good. And you can choose to be either or, but your art will reflect that.
Passion, dedication, like really strong in the vocab. Like wordplay, like punchlines, everything has to be like Dama.
I think a good musician is a cat that does not let the technical side intrude with pure expression.
A b-boy, whether he's a b-boy or a pop or a dancer, period. The single most important thing is rhythm, you know what I mean? For starters, I started as a b-boy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I started on the floor before I became a popper. And here in Miami, I saw the very best of it, you know what I'm saying? So for some young cat to come up to me and be like, oh, what does he know? Hey, I saw them. Before you get to step Y and Z, you gotta know A, B, and C. Top rock, and know how to get to the floor and do the 6-step or forward, whatever you want to call it. A lot. I've seen a small change in the past year or so. I've seen more people getting into like the whole top rock and up rock styles, which without that, there's nothing. You gotta learn how. A b-boy is not a b-boy unless he knows how to rock. You gotta rock to the beat.
When you battle someone, you're always thinking in the back of your mind, you always have that edge to it. What am I gonna do that's gonna better that person? That person just did a wave. I've never seen a wave before. Wow.
Now, let me get that wave and do something different with it. Let me bam, 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 and take it, you know what I mean?
I think to be a really dope MC or to stand out above, I mean, you gotta really have all of the elements, you know, you can't just be able to freestyle or be a dope rider. And then there's God-given things like shit that you can't make up, like, you know, you gotta have a dope voice, you know, you gotta have flow, you know, you gotta have control of cadence, breath control. All those things wrapped into one is, I think, what makes a dope MC. And I mean, it's nothing, to me, it's no mystery. I mean, it's been done over and over. I mean, everyone knows who the good MCs and who the bad MCs are, so.
A good artist is somebody that's original.
In your eyes, because it talks about surrender. Surrender to me, it talks about surrender to the spirit of the masters.
I wear my name.
Naturalistic with Bob Marley.
O telefone tocou novamente. It's musical. Not a lot of songs are musical.
Called Glorious, I guess that's the name of the song. Very simple. Takes you to another dimension for 3 minutes or the duration of the song.
Basquiat, all the surrealists, Max Ernst.
It would have to be Fried Neck Bone and Some Home Fries by Willie Bobo.
James Brown, Give It Up, Turn It Loose. Even sometimes some NC stuff like Don't Sweat the Technique. You know, that's a good song. Sometimes it's a go out fun. It depends what kind of mood you want to be in.
Apache, Melting Pot, and Mexican. Those are the three that make me.
And I remember when I heard Don't Dream It's Over, I had to roll on the floor. And another song that made me roll on the floor was a woman named Viola Kilgore. It was called This Is My Prayer, which I heard when I was in college.
Jazz fan, I think it's called. It was just like, cause my dad put me onto jazz when I was little. And listening to that shit was just like, back
jazz
then,
thing.
Yeah, back then, the song was so old, like it was, I didn't know hip hop could get down like that back then, because I didn't think of it like that. Louis Armstrong and fucking Miles Davis was my dad used to play. So I would be like, yo, this is dope. And he was saying all these jazz artists' names and what instruments they would play, what songs they did. And it was like, I know that one, You know what I'm saying? So that, I love hearing that song. It just mad nostalgic and shit.
Son muchos a Miguel Ángel. A Miguel Ángel más que a Leonardo.